Hey, I'm back. What's going on? Can you hear it in my voice? Mm. I'm dealing with the crud. I'm dealing with crud. That's part of the reason I've not been live this week. We went live on Sunday morning, and I felt okay Sunday. And then was it Sunday night? Sunday night, I could start feeling it coming on. Like I started losing, not like losing my voice, but when your throat's starting to do those funny little, it's starting to tickle. I was getting that tickle on Sunday night during my live stream. And I woke up Monday morning just kind of like, I feel a little off. And I knew I felt a little off because I wanted to just sit down and have coffee. I never want to just sit down and have coffee. I want to sit down and go to work. So I knew like something, all right, something's up. Something's up. So I kind of took it easy on Monday. Monday night just felt like shit. Took some NyQuil. I didn't have a live scheduled Monday night. I take Mondays off just to ship and stuff, unless I don't have any streams over the weekend. So I didn't have anything going on. So woke up Tuesday, felt okay. Yesterday was probably the worst. What's today? Today's Thursday. Wednesday was definitely Wednesday. Yesterday was the worst. I got through it with Dayquil and NyQuil cocktails. But I did try to go live. My wife's like, don't go live. Just take the night off. And I'm like, but I took last night off. She's like, I'm like, how about I just do I'll just do a short stream. So I did 100 auctions on Tuesday night. And that was like the perfect amount of auctions, because if I would have gone more than 100 on Tuesday night, I would have not been able to make it through. So we got through. It was an okay night. It was a good night it was a really good night for a Tuesday. It was really good for a Tuesday. So then I'm like, I'll be back. I'll feel better tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow night, because I had a show scheduled Wednesday night. I felt even shittier on Wednesday. Like I worked my normal day. Oh, selling baseball cards must be awesome. It is. It 100% is. But people don't realize the amount of hours that you put in. But I love it. And I don't want to do anything else. I enjoy working 12 to 14 hours a day. And I did like 2 yesterday. I shipped for a couple hours. And then I probably for like a half an hour, I did list some of the vintage. Tonight is vintage night. And it won't be 200 auctions tonight. I've got to go through and see what I have for vintage. But I've listed about, I think a dozen, maybe 15 cards that will be up. Some of the better ones are listed. I got the second-year Nolan Ryan. I've got an early Hank Aaron. There's Mickey Mantle. I think there's another Hank Aaron. There's what else? I don't have that vintage box in here, but there's some good stuff. So tonight, I think I'm going to start at 7:30 tonight. I might even start at 8. We'll see. I've got to go through. I've got to take inventory of what I have. So I'm guessing probably 100 auctions. I'm guessing probably 100 auctions tonight for vintage. See? There you go. The crud. So yeah, yesterday I just didn't do shit. What did I watch? I didn't even really watch anything good. Oh, I watched a movie last night. My wife's like, I'm like, do you want to watch this movie? So Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It's on Netflix. She's like, yeah, I'm not really in the movie mood. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. I'm like, she's like, I'm not really gonna pay attention. I'm like, all right, well, if you're not gonna pay attention, I'm gonna watch what I want to watch then. So I watched The Rip. It was good. It was good. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, nice little twist. Not as twisty as his and hers. That was an awesome. Watch that. That's on Netflix. Watch that. That's a great series. I think there's 6 episodes. I binged it on, what night was that? Tuesday night? Monday night? Tuesday night? I can't remember. No, it wasn't Tuesday because I did my live stream Monday night. Good stuff. So check that out. What else is going on? So yeah, just dealing with this bullshit. This is the second bullshit that I've gotten this year. I picked it up, and both happened right after card shows. The first time was the Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty sure the Thanksgiving crud. I don't think I picked it up at the card show. I'm pretty sure I picked it up at Thanksgiving. One of our family friends that was there was just, claimed to be just getting over it. Might have still had it, and I picked it up. Because I started feeling like crap. That time it was like Sunday morning, and usually it's like that, like incubation period is like 2 to 3 days for colds and stuff. And it was like Sunday morning, like I knew, like I didn't feel like I didn't get much sleep because that Thanksgiving weekend was crazy because we hosted a big Thanksgiving dinner Thursday night. And then Friday, I think I did a live stream, and then I had to go to the hotel Friday afternoon. Then we hosted people Friday night. And then Saturday was the show, the sports show. And then Saturday night, I did the Survivor Series watch along. And then Sunday, I had the Pokemon show. And I'm like taking a nap in the hotel lobby. And then and I was down for like a week that time. It's down for like a week. Hopefully it's not as long this time. So yeah, this one I started feeling it Sunday night. So I think I might have picked it up maybe at the card shop on Thursday. Because it was like that's a fast turnaround to pick something up. Now, I had some beers on Saturday night. I was around a lot of people on Saturday. I'm sure my immune system I haven't been, my schedule's way out of whack. And that's probably why I've gotten sick twice this winter, is because my schedule is way out of whack. I'm working a lot. I'm staying up late, although I do sleep in when I stay up late. But my schedule is all wacky. But this is life, so we're gonna keep doing it. We'll just keep chugging the Dayquil and NyQuil, and we'll get through it. So yeah, tonight, vintage night. I'm guessing 100 auctions tonight because I don't know how long my voice will last. I've got a nice stack of vintage. I may have to scratch for 100 even. So we'll do 100 tonight. What else? That's about it. Just been dealing with this crud. eBay Live. My numbers are not where I want them to be, which that tends to happen. But I am still like year over year, same time period compared to last year, 2025. I am up 894%. So yeah, here I am disappointed that I'm not making more, but I am up 894%. Now, January of 2025 was a shit month. And it paid the bills, did okay. But after doing this for 3 years, it's like, and I've talked about this, like through the first couple months of 2025, it's like, I need to see that 40% growth, because if I don't, like, this is not working. Now I'm going to continue doing this. This was a year ago. I'm going to stay doing this, but I've just got to, I can't sell $1.50 cards, $2 cards. There's just not enough volume, and there's a lot of work. Now I'm doing less work and making 894% more than I made last January with less work. And here I am saying how much I put in, but I'm still putting in less work. And I feel like I'm putting in less work. Shit, this week I haven't put in any work. Monday I shipped for a while. Tuesday I shipped for a little bit. Yesterday I didn't do shit. Did one stream on Tuesday night. So here we are. So I'd like to see that. Even I know 894% is huge growth. I want to see that number higher. Because I didn't start my first live streams on eBay wasn't until the end of April. So I'm going to see these huge numbers and growth year over year until the end of April. And even going into May, because I was doing the first couple months, I was only doing it here and there, like 1-2 streams a week. And it really wasn't until July where I really picked it up and was doing a lot. So I want to see those numbers grow. My quantity sold, though, is just a touch over where it was last year. How about this? Quantity sold is only up 6%. The volume that I've sold over last year is up 6%, but my net sales are up 894%. So that's where we want to be. All right, let's go say hello to the chat. It's going to be a short hobby evolution today, kind of like the old school where it's 15, 20 minutes because I don't want to, I got to save my voice for tonight. By the way, link in the description for tonight's eBay Live vintage sale. Red Lights in the Crane, what's going on? Good morning. Cody's in the house. What's going on? The cold is getting to all of us. Looking forward to warmer days. Yeah, and I think next week it's supposed to warm up, right? Oh, hey. I just got a message from a former Cubs player. He said, I came highly recommended as a baseball card guru. That's funny. Let's see. All right. Where are we at? Oh, weather. Let's see. It's 0 right now, but we're heading toward a high of 13. 11 is the high tomorrow. 20. It's going to be in the 20s this weekend. It's going to be in the 30s by next Thursday. How about that? We're warming up. Good morning, Jody. What's going on? Cody says, will you be going to Milwaukee this weekend? No. So I was at about earlier this week, I was at like 50-50. I was at like 50-50 going Friday. It was all going to be based on how much inventory from Madison that I got through this week on eBay Live. Since I did a short show on Tuesday, didn't do a show on Wednesday, I've still got quite a bit of stuff. I'm only doing the vintage tonight. I still have plenty of stuff. I'll do a live stream Friday night. So now that means by the middle of next week, I'll need more inventory. But I've got a nice steady stream of inventory coming in. So I will not be going over there. I thought about doing Friday. I'm not going to do Friday. Saturday, I've got the Royal Rumbles during the day on Saturday. So I'm doing a daytime stream starting at 1 or 2 o'clock, wrestling only on Saturday. So I won't be going over there Saturday. And I'm not going to go Sunday. So I will not be at the show on this weekend. And then next weekend, I'll probably have to hit up a show. I think Super Bowl Sunday, there's a show in Janesville. I'll probably do that. I'll probably go over there. I'll probably Oak Creek is a week from Oak Creek's just such a drive for me. It's way on the south edge of Milwaukee. So I'll probably just go Sunday to Janesville. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Hey, I had something Korean for dinner last night. What's it called? Kimbap. It's kind of like sushi, but it was like barbecue beef. It was at Aldi. It was in the frozen section. You just microwave it. I'm sure it's a lot better in Korea and fresh, but I'm not. It was that or like chicken noodle soup. Actually, I don't even know if we have any chicken noodle soup. SV's in the house. What's going on? I am in Madison, Wisconsin. Where are you from? Max is here. What's going on? Weekend off. Woohoo! I will give you a guess about mine. Ting. I have no idea what that means. Dan says, I got 4 Korean card autos back from PSA. One was a TTM from Sungwon Oh here locally. Nice. Jordan's in the house. What's going on? -4 and 10 is a high up here. Kimbap. That's what I had. That was what my dinner was last night. Kimbap. Cody wants to know Pats or Seahawks. I'm gonna say Seahawks. I want the Patriots to win. How about Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Fame? What bullshit is that? Here, I thought the Baseball Hall of Fame was a joke. Now the Football Hall of Fame is a joke. What's crazy is it's like united everyone. Everyone that I've seen on Twitter, social media, ESPN, everybody agrees that it's a bunch of, whether you like Bill Belichick or not, everybody agrees it's a bunch of bullshit. I saw a tweet, I think it was Courtney Cronin who covers football, and she tweeted that the Football Hall of Fame doesn't have a morality clause. Like baseball, at least you can hide your non-vote for Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez and the alleged PED users. You can hide behind the morality clause. There is no morality clause in the Football Hall of Fame, so it's just a bunch of bullshit. Bill Belichick should be first ballot Hall of Famer. It is a bunch of malarkey. So, all right. Max says, I saw Eli was a no a second time too. Are we not putting guys in at all anymore? Yeah, the Football Hall of Fame is weird. It's just, I don't get the Football Hall of Fame. Like I don't get the Baseball Hall of Fame, the voters, but I kind of get it. But I mean, Eli Manning's to me is a Hall of Famer, and I don't buy into the first ballot, second ballot BS. You're a Hall of Famer, or you're not, because no matter what, if you're first ballot or a fifth ballot, your bust is going to be in Canton or in Cooperstown. Doesn't matter if you're first or fifth, or Larry Walker 10th ballot. Like, why was he not a Hall of Famer in the first 9 ballots? So I don't get this. Like, in my opinion, Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer. But they do it weird. I don't know. I don't get it. He'll get in. I don't know why there's a wait on Eli Manning or some of the other guys that have had to wait. Cody says, how many years did he get caught stealing signs? Carlos Beltran, Hall of Famer, cheater. Barry Bonds, alleged cheater, not in the Hall of Fame. So we can let some cheaters in, but other cheaters we can't let in. Does that mean Brady? Yeah, so that was my first thought. Because I don't know if it was in my eBay live stream or if it was in a group chat, but somebody had brought up, well, they're probably punishing Bill Belichick because of the sign stealing and the practice gate or whatever it was, and Deflate Gate. I'm like, well, if it's Deflate Gate, then is Tom Brady not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Like, Tom Brady was in there as well. Like, I know the coach has to take responsibility and blah, 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 but is Tom Brady not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Jordan says Eli will get in, Max, just not right now. And why is that? Like, maybe you, like, I say this with all, like, I just don't know the Football Hall of Fame voting process. Unfortunately, I do know the baseball voting process. It's bullshit. But football, I don't get. How does the Football Hall of Fame work? Like, how does the voting work? And why do guys have to wait? Is it the stupid, like, oh, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer? I saw somebody on Twitter, like, there should be distinctions. Harold Baines and Babe Ruth should not be in the same Hall of Fame, or there should be different, like, it's not, like, why do you need to differentiate Harold Baines from Babe Ruth? Anybody with a brain can tell you that Harold Baines was no Babe Ruth. We don't need a differentiator. Well, Harold Baines is a Hall of Famer, but he's a tier. No, you're either a Hall of Famer or you're not. We don't need to differentiate between Babe Ruth and Harold Baines. Max says he hopes so. Travis says Rowland got in Baseball Hall of Fame for his moral character. Scott Rowland shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. I'm a small hall guy, though. Brady will go in next year. Maybe, unless whoever pulled the strings this year pulls the strings next year. That would be. I think Tom Brady not being in the first ballot might be even more egregious as Bill Belichick. Like, this is one of the most egregious things ever in Hall of Fame voting. Brady would top it if he didn't get in on a first ballot. Max says, but why not right now? See, that's my question. Like, he's going to get in, but why? Why does he have to wait? What difference does he make? What difference does it make? if you get in on your first year or if you get in on your third year. I kind of understand where there's rumors that Bill Polian is pulling the strings on the Belichick stuff and saying we need to make him wait a year. And he's lobbying, make him wait a year to punish him. And basically that's what happened to Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran was punished last year because of the sign stealing thing. Well, why? Like, he got caught cheating. But that's the same people that are voting in Carlos Beltran, known cheater, didn't vote in Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez. Why is there a double standard in this? Red Light says, good movie. Jordan says, more interceptions, not the best winning record, but he beat Brady twice. Jordan says, Night Dan. Red Light says, need to bring hand cleaner to the shows. We got lots of hand cleaner. We got lots. There's hand sanitizer stations like every 10 feet at the Alliant Energy Center. I even had my own. Have some right there. Didn't work. Max says Belichick was the best GM and coach the sport has ever seen. Agreed. The Baseball Hall of Fame is a joke too. I don't think either of the guys that were voted in should have sniffed it. And I agree. Now, Carlos Beltran's numbers are solid. Like when I first saw him on the ballot last year before voting last year, I'm like, Carlos Beltran's not a Hall of Famer. But then I looked at his numbers. I'm like, okay. Andrew Jones, not a Hall of Famer. Jeff Kent, not a Hall of Famer. Those guys are really good. They're really good players. They're not Hall of Famers. Well, they are now. I want to look up Carlos Beltran. We're down the Hall of Fame. Here I said we're 15 minutes. Need to save my voice. Well, you get me talking about the Hall of Fame. All right. Carlos Beltran had a 70 WAR over his career. 2,700 hits, 279 career batting average, 435 home runs, over 1,500 RBI, 312 stolen bases. Let's see. Rookie of the Year, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, won the Clemente Award, and did cheat. So he put up some really rock solid numbers. Like, and I'm talking like you can use like the 7-year rule. And with Beltran, he kind of strung along for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was really like a 10-year stretch where he had some really good numbers. His 2000, hey, I figured this out. From 2001 to 2008, his per season, here's his per season averages. From 2001 to 2008, Carlos Beltran. And that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an 8 season. And usually, you kind of gauge it on that 7-year. And really, outside of this 8-year stint, 2 years prior to 2001, in 99, he had a 4.7 WAR. In 2009, he was an all-star, had a 3.6 WAR. A couple of years later, in 11, he had a 4.5 WAR, 3.9 in 2012. So Carlos Beltran had a good career. So his 8-year, 2001 to 2008 season average, 5.9 WAR per season, which puts you among the game's best. Let's see. Averaged 29 home runs, 34 doubles, 163 hits per season, 104 RBI per season, 29 stolen bases per season, 105 strikeouts to 75 walks. His batting average was 282, 363 on the OBP. Slug was 513, 877 OPS. That's a really good, that's a Hall of Fame stretch right there. Carlos Beltran. So let's look at his Jaws numbers. Where's the Jaws at? All right. So he's ranked in the center fielders. He's 9th. Every single center fielder above him is in the Hall of Fame with the exception of one. and that person is still playing, and his name is Mike Trout. So top 10 center fielders, Willie on Jaws, Willie Mays, Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker, Mickey Mantle, Mike Trout, Ken Griffey Jr., Joe DiMaggio, Duke Snyder, Carlos Beltran. That's pretty good company. Now, number 10, Kenny Lofton. Number 11, Andrew Jones. Number 12, Richie Ashburn. Number 13, Andre Dawson. Number 14, it's the old. I'm like, Billy Hamilton's not in the hall. The old Billy Hamilton from like the 1800s. Then you got Jim Edmonds. So it really, at 10, it really falls off the cliff with Kenny Lofton. But you do have Hall of Famers in there. Andrew Jones, Richie Ashburn, Andre Dawson, Billy Hamilton. So the top 15 center fielders in Jaws, only 1, 2, 3 are not in the Hall of Fame. One of them will be in the Hall of Fame, and that's Mike Trout. The other two are Kenny Lofton at number 10 on Jaws. Number 15 is Jim Edmonds. And then there's several below that are in the Hall of Fame. Larry Doby at 18, Earl Averill at 22, Kirby Puckett's 25th, Oscar Charleston is 31st. Now, he was a Negro Leagues player, so his numbers are going to be skewed. Earl Combs at 36, Turkey Stearns, legendary Hall of Famer right there. Turkey Stearns, number 37. Hack Wilson is all the way down at 45. Ed Roush, Hugh Duffy. So that's the Jaws. All right. Travis says no one should get in next year. So I think I agree with that because there's nobody on the first ballot. Actually, I think one will get in. Buster Posey. It's Buster Posey and John Lester are the top two. And I can't remember. I don't think since Andrew Jones did get in, like he was the and I can't remember who was. I don't have what's his name doesn't do Twitter anymore. He's only on that other social media, which I have, and it's just a pain in the ass to find the Hall of Fame tracker. There are guys that are trending upwards that will get in just based on the voting, which I think is bullshit. Like you're either in or you're not. Chase Utley is going to get in, and he should. He's not a Hall of Famer in my opinion. But that's my opinion. There's a couple other guys that are trending up as well. Max says Mattingly, Baines, Murphy, Rowland, Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran, etc. can all go make their own Hall of Very Good. For the most part, I agree. I'm still mixed on Don Mattingly. I'm still mixed because he does have that like 7-8 year stretch where he was one of the greats. Baines was a compiler. I agree. Baines should Hall of Very Good, Hall of Compiling Stats. Dale Murphy, I'm torn on Dale Murphy too. He had back-to-back MVP seasons. But I'm a small hall guy. And there's got to be a cutoff somewhere. And I think Mattingly Murphy, like that's the cutoff. Scott Rowland, no. Andrew Jones, no. Carlos Beltran's probably the only one, but I don't think Carlos Beltran should be in. If you're not going to vote in Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez and all those guys, then you can't vote in Carlos Beltran. And David Ortiz shouldn't be in there either. If you're one for all for one. If you're going to cheat, no matter what it is, you shouldn't be in. If that's the way you're going to vote, that's the way these people are voting, but they're double standards. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew they were going to vote some PED guys in. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is. Larry Walker, agree. Larry Walker shouldn't be in. You get a Hall of Fame vote, and you get a Hall of Fame vote. Jordan says Lofton should be in. See, and I don't agree. I think based on that Jaws that I just had up on center fielders, I think that cutoff. Fuck, I lost it. But I think that Beltran, like that's the cutoff. Like I don't think Lofton should be in. I don't think like Dawson. Love Andre Dawson, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the stats again. Max says, so Beltran is the 69th team not in the tournament. Got to start somewhere. And I agree. But I do think he had good enough numbers over a stretch of time that he should be number 68. And number 69 can be Andrew Jones. Max says, or however many teams get in to appease more schools nobody wants to see play. 7 years not enough. I think so. I think 7 years is that magical number. Now, if your career only spanned 7 years, then we can like. But I mean, if you put up 7 years where you're the best, one of the best in the game, not the best, but if you're one of the best in the game for a 7-year stretch, that's good enough for me. And Beltran played, and he played like he wasn't a compiler. So in 8 years, let's go back to his page. So Carlos Beltran in 8 years put up 50 WAR in that 8-year stretch. He had 70 WAR. So 50 out of 70 WAR came in an 8-year stretch. And by the end of his career, by his age 37, 38, like he really he might have had negative WAR in his last 3 or 4 years. Let's see. I wonder if I can do this again. Oh, there you go. So in his last, is that 4 years? His last 4 seasons, he compiled 2.2 WAR in his last 4 seasons. He had negative 0.2 WAR in 14, 1.1 WAR in 15, 2.2 in 16. That saved him. And negative 0.8 WAR in 2017 at age 40. So Beltran put up enough numbers. Now, a lot of Andrew Jones love is because of his defense. Andrew Jones, 62.7 career WAR, failed to hit 2,000 hits, 434 home runs, 254 career batting average, 1289 on RBI, 152 stolen bases. All right, let's see what his 7-year stretch is. All right, so there's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, let's just do 8-year stretch because we did that with Beltran. Guess what? Andrew Jones had a better 8-year stretch than Carlos Beltran. Wow. All right. And Andrew Jones was a great defender too. I'm gonna have to step back. I'm gonna have to walk myself back. I'm gonna have to walk backwards and say, yeah, Andrew Jones is a Hall of Famer. He compiled 49 WAR over an 8-season arch, 98 to 2005. 6.1 WAR per season. His per season average, 98 runs, 162 hits, 31 doubles, 35 home runs per season, 102 RBIs per season, 13 stolen bases, 124 strikeouts to 63 walks, 271 average, 345 OBP, 511 slug, 856 OPS. Andrew Jones put in a great 8-year stretch from 98 to 2005. Better 8-year stretch than Carlos Beltran. Just very similar, but just by a hair. I'm going to walk myself back. Andrew Jones, Hall of Famer. All right, let's look up Kenny Lofton. Let's do an 8-year lookup on Kenny Lofton. The old eye test says no for me. Kenny Lofton, 68.4 career WAR, 2,428 hits, 130 home runs, 299 career batting average, 781 RBI, 622 stolen bases, 4-time Gold Glover. All right, let's. Oh, wow, he had some great seasons, some early year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, why is my window not popping up? There we go. All right, Kenny Lofton, 8-year stretch. Well, motherfucker. Kenny Lofton had an 8-year stretch. Maybe Max is right. Maybe 7, 8 years isn't enough because these guys are all Hall of Famers over 8 years. Kenny Lofton, 8-year stretch from 92 to 99. He compiled 47.5 WAR. That was a per season average of 5.9, which is right there with Carlos Beltran. 105 runs per season, 168 hits per season, 26 doubles, 7.5 triples per season, 8 home runs. We knew he wasn't a home run hitter. 52 RBI, 54 stolen bases per season. How about his strike to walkout ratio? 71 strikeouts to 66.5 walks. 311 batting average, slash 311, 387, 432 with an 819 OPS. Kenny Lofton. And I think it's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? Because Kenny Lofton's numbers were all in that first half of his career because he played 17 years. And really that first 8-9 seasons, basically that 8-year stretch that I highlighted, because it was all downhill from there. So he ranged that 8-year range from 92 to 99. His WAR range, his WAR range was 4.1 to 7.6. And he never even reached 4 WAR again after 99. It's all downhill from there. 3.4 WAR in 2000, 3.8 in 2002, 3.5 in 2003, 3.6. It was like every other year he had a above 3 WAR. 3.6 in 2005. That is interesting. He had really good, is it odd years? I don't know. Even years? No. All right. So there you go. Kenny Lofton. There you can make an argument for Kenny Lofton. Jordan says, geez, Max. Philly Joe says, Jones was nothing after he was 30. I do love WAR. What is it good for? It's the best measurement that's available. What's up, Uncle Rich? Starting to sound like John McCain over here. Jamie's in the house. What's going on? I actually have energy for the first time since Sunday morning. I actually woke up early for me. And we got vintage night tonight on eBay Live. Looking forward to that. Jordan says, thank you. Travis says, how does character not matter this year with Jones and Beltran? Jones has good character, doesn't he? It's Beltran with the cheating scandal. Unless there's something with Andrew Jones I don't know about. Kenny Lofton was the best player in baseball for a couple of years, and the thing which hurt him the most was the constant moving between teams. That's a good point that I didn't even, he was really known as a Cleveland Indian, but then shit. Oh my God. I didn't realize Kenny Lofton moved around so much. So he played 10 years in Cleveland, 1 year with the Dodgers, 1 year with the Braves, 1 year with the Phillies, 1 year with the White Sox, 1 year with the Pirates, 1 year with the Rangers, 1 year with the Yankees, 1 year with the Cubs, 1 year with the Giants, 1 year with the Astros. That's amazing. That is amazing. Hey, he did really well. He played the second half of the season for the Cubs in 2003 and helped them get to the NLCS. Oh, the NLCS of 2003. Uncle Rich says he never should have been a one-and-done guy. That's crazy that he was a one-and-done guy. Like, that's more. That's crazy. Max says, well, Kenny was playing. Did you ever think, hey, this guy should be in the Hall? No, because I was 10. I was 10 to like 5 during the peak of his career. Uncle Rich could probably answer this because he was an adult at the time. I was a kid. I didn't know. I mean, I thought Bobby Bonilla and Don Mattingly and Eric Davis were Hall of Famers. And guess what? They're not. So don't ask me that because I honestly thought when I was a kid, I thought Bobby Bonilla is a Hall of Famer. I thought Eric Davis was going to be a Hall of Famer. I thought Don Mattingly was going to be a Hall of Famer. They're not. They shouldn't be. Did I ever think Kenny Lofton was a Hall of Famer? No. But I thought Bobby Bonilla, Eric Davis, and Don Manning. So maybe, based on that, maybe. Anything yes was a no. Anything no was a yes. And yeah, Lofton was a good defender too. He was on base a lot. Lofton, perennial all-star equals Hall of Very Good. Got to do more for me. I don't even really look at all-star appearances because all-star appearances is, first off, it's not the first off, all-star appearances is only the first half of the season. And second off, it's a popularity contest. So like all-star, it's nice to have next to your name, but when it comes to Hall of Fame stuff, I pay no attention to the all-star appearances. Max says Lofton got softballs at the leadoff position because he batted behind 4 Hall of Fame worthy players. But hey, I mean, that's in those Cleveland Indians lineups in the 90s were fucking murderers row. Are you going to punish him for that? Are you gonna credit a guy, a great hitter who hit ahead of a bunch of shit? Like, you play the teams on your schedule, you bat in the lineup of your team, and those are the numbers. We don't play on what ifs. We play on the numbers that we see in front of us. Well, what if? Well, what if? What if? What's the old say? If ifs and buts were corn, and I don't know what the saying was. Whatever that one was. Oh, Jones beat up his wife. Okay. Domestic abuse. All right. I was not aware of that. Max says on the road at 6 a.m. tomorrow to Madison to pick up 980,000. 980,000 Pokemon. Max says best player in baseball. Laughed my ass off. When? Dude played for the Indians, and that's about it. GWRBI's in the house. Cards, Max. Straight up Pokemon. 2 cents a card. Mattingly was considered on the Hall of Fame path in New York. Yeah, he absolutely was. But look what happened. ATX Treasure Chest. Good morning. Welcome back. Rich says he was the best player in baseball from 84 to 88. Davis, without getting hurt in the 90 World Series, might have been a Hall of Famer. What was Eric Davis's numbers? Oh, let's... Eric Davis put together. Eric Davis had like 3 really good. He had like 2 where he was one of the best in baseball. 86, 87, 88. That's not enough. Let's put together an 8-year path for Eric Davis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So his 8-year. Eric Davis, 8-year, 25 WAR per season, 3.1 WAR per season, 108 hits per season, 16 doubles, 2 triples, 23 home runs, 73 RBI, 34 stolen bases, 264, 359, 482 slash. Eric Davis, let's see. Max says, I don't disclose pricing, but much lower. Yeah, for 980,000. That's for bulk. Definitely got to be lower than 2 cents. ATX says, I think Dale Murphy was better than Mattingly in those years. Saber says, Murphy was 82 to 85. Max says, okay, all pro instead of all star. Jordan says, nice, Max. Max says, in my opinion, if you have to reason a guy in, he doesn't belong. Well, I always have to reason guys in because I don't like, it should be statistic based. And I don't know the statistics on these guys. I'm not Rain Man. And when I look, it's like, okay, like there should be. Now, the game changes so much. So what's a Hall of Famer today? Not necessarily a Hall of Famer 30 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. So I think there should be like many halls of fame must have played X amount. And I know there's rules for the Baseball Hall of Fame, retired 5 years, played 10 years, whatever that was. But there should be statistical like, okay, if you didn't have 2,000 hits in your career, you should not be a Hall of Famer. If you didn't hit, but then it's like, okay, well, he's not a power hit. And then all of a sudden you're in the weeds. Well, Kenny Lofton wasn't a power hitter, so he didn't have 200 home runs or 400 home runs, whatever that benchmark is. So you should meet how many of these? Okay, Kenny Lofton was known for his defense, known for his speed. Okay, so he hit this benchmark in stolen bases, this benchmark in defense, this benchmark in batting average. Like, if you hit a certain amount of benchmarks, statistically speaking, then you should be in. And I think every 10 years or so, you need to reassess because, we had the 90s. Guys were hitting 60 home runs. Guys aren't hitting 60 home runs anymore. Starting pitching is probably the biggest. Now starting pitchers barely go 5 innings. So what's a Hall of Famer in starting pitch? 10 years ago, it's like relief closer shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. Now it's like, should there be any starters? Now, I know there's still some playing, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Clayton Kershaw, legit Hall of Famers, but who's next in line? Like, who are starting pitchers that are going to be Hall of Famers? There's got to be new benchmarks. Jamie says, candy or nuts? Ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Travis says, Bonilla Hall of Famer for his contract. Yes. Jordan says, if worms had machine guns, then birds would be screwed, right? Max says, Shota was on a Hall of Fame track for the first half of the first season of his career. Well, one half of a season is a lot different than 7 years. When you're comparing one half of a season to 7 years, you know how BS that sounds? Bird, says Jordan. ET card collector in the house. Good morning. You said short stream. I know. And then we started talking Hall of Fame, and that always gets me going. So I went and made breakfast, got back, and you're still on live. So much for a short stream. Thank you. Jordan says, Max, that's actually funny. Orlando, what's going on? Max says, ESPN stats out here, LOL. Max says, Rich talking Lofton. When was he ever the best in the game? Jordan says, good morning to Orlando. Orlando says, I'm a small hall guy. No Murphy or Mattingly or Lofton. Max says, unfortunately, got to have the weeds. I don't think I've ever heard the ifs and buts. Ifs and buts were candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, I'm going to go. I got to make me some coffee. Hey, tonight, vintage night. Where's my vintage box is in here. Vintage night on eBay Live. I've got a 69 Nolan Ryan. I've got a 56 Hank Aaron. I've got a 58 Mickey Mantle. I've got a 73 Willie Mays. I've got a 61 Babe Ruth and a PSA 6. That's a nice one. I've got Killebrew. I've got a bunch of Hall of Famers, even probably some guys like Thurman Munson, who's not in the Hall of Fame. I got a nice 71 Topps Thurman Munson tonight. Vintage night. I'm going to try to do 100 auctions, all vintage tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll be back to the free-for-all of all sports, Friday night on eBay Live. Saturday is wrestling only. It's the Royal Rumble. It's taking place in Saudi Arabia this year, so it's an early start here, America time. So I'm going to start my stream. I think I've got it set for 2. I might bump that up to 1 o'clock tomorrow, maybe 1:30. I just don't want to miss. I want to be on when the Royal Rumble, because that's my jam, even though I can't really watch it because I'm facing this way and the TV's behind me. But that's tomorrow afternoon. I got some good wrestling stuff. So here's some of the wrestling that's going to be auctioned off tomorrow or Saturday. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page autograph. I've got a Trish Stratus autograph. I've got a Maurice autograph numbered out of 25. I've got a Hogan autograph on a 87 Circle K. That's a big one. So that stuff's going to be up for grabs on Saturday. Oh, here's some of my vintage. Here's the Mantle, 58 All-Star and a 2.5. One of my favorite Mantle cards. This one, the 62 All-Star that I have behind me, the 55 Bowman, among my favorites. I'm not going to say 51 Bowman or 52 Topps because I've never had one of those. 61 Topps, PSA 6 Babe Ruth, 56 Hank Aaron, SGC 2. And the Nolan Ryan 69 Topps. It's a PSA 1 on that one. So those are all the vintage tonight, wrestling on Saturday afternoon. Tonight's stream, I'm going to start, I think it's 7:30. I'm going to go live for vintage night, 7:30 Central. Tomorrow night, I'll start at 8. Saturday afternoon at, I think, 1. And then we'll do Sunday night singles on Sunday. Let's see. Where are we at? Rich says, get better. I should be able to listen for the first time in a long time. Excellent. Max says, legit Hall of Famers. Better throw a 90 Donruss Kenny Lofton in there for Jordan and Rich if you're doing Hall of Famers. 20-plus years is vintage. Jordan's laughing at Max. eBay Live is another world. I love it. It's awesome. Dez says, live selling really is a game changer. It is. It's just been absolutely insane. And I'm having a blast doing it. Rich says the 58 All-Star mantle was the one Costas kept in his wallet. Oh, very cool. All right, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, check me out tonight on eBay Live, 7:30 Central, vintage night. Some bangers tonight on vintage. I don't think vintage collectors say the word banger though, but we've got bangers tonight, 7:30 eBay Live. Link in the description. See you there.